Statistics have shown that the average driver will experience up to 5 flat tires in their lifetime. With 220 million flat tires per year, there are a lot of different ways a tire can lose air. On passenger vehicles like trucks and SUVs under 10,000 pounds GVWR, a warning light on the dashboard will notify the driver that the inflation pressure in one or more tires is 25% below the recommended pressure. In most cases, the Tire Pressure Monitoring System, or TPMS, will give the driver enough warning to have the tire serviced immediately so it can be repaired. In others, the sudden loss of air, known as a blowout, is a sign that the tire will need to be replaced. But studies have shown that almost half of the flat tires in the U.S. are noticed after the vehicle has been parked. Vehicle manufacturers have traditionally included a spare tire, but the growing trend is to move toward temporary mobility kits and run flat tires. According to AAA, the number of new vehicles with temporary mobility kits or run flat tires increased from 5% of the 2006 model year to 36% of the vehicles sold in 2015. There are a few important things to remember when using an OEM temporary mobility kit. First, do not remove the object causing the leak. The sealant is intended to seal the gaps between the object and the tire so it will not fill the hole. Second, stand clear of the sidewall while the tire is being inflated. Third, these devices are only designed to get you to the nearest service provider so the tire can be inspected and properly repaired. The purpose of a full-size or temporary spare tire is to ensure the driver can continue to operate the vehicle after any type of tire failure. The most important step to installing a spare tire is to assess the situation. Installing the spare in a parking lot is a lot different than installing it on the side of a road or highway. If the conditions for installing the spare tire are not safe, drivers should contact an emergency road service provider and let the professionals do the work. On the other hand, if the vehicle is located on a firm and level parking lot, driveway, or side street without a lot of traffic, most drivers can install the spare themselves. The first step is to turn on the hazard lights and apply the parking brake. On most passenger cars, the spare tire is located in the trunk under the trunk liner. Lift the liner and then unscrew the securing mechanism so the spare tire can be removed. Other tools like the scissors jack and lug wrench must also be removed from the spare tire storage area. Full-size spares are often located under the vehicle and must be lowered with the lug wrench. If the vehicle has a hubcap or wheel cover, use the flat end of the lug wrench to remove it before attempting to remove the flat tire. The next step is to slightly loosen the lug nuts with the lug wrench by turning them counterclockwise before lifting the vehicle. Do not remove the lug nuts until the tire is off the ground. If the lug nut does not loosen by hand, position the lug wrench so you can step on the end to loosen the lug nut. Always push down when loosening the lug nuts. After the lug nuts are loose, locate the position for the scissors jack under the car. In most cases, there will be a notch in the pinch weld where the cradle on the jack will fit. Consult the owner's manual for the proper lifting point. Expand the scissors jack by hand by turning the screw mechanism in a clockwise direction and then place it under the car so the cradle fits in the notch. With the jack in the right position, use the lug wrench or hook bar to start lifting the vehicle until the tire is all the way off the ground. If the ground is soft or unstable and the jack or vehicle appears to shift while lifting, it must be moved to a firm surface or professional emergency road service must be contacted. Once the tire is off the ground and the car is stable, use the lug wrench to loosen and remove the lug nuts so the tire can be removed from the vehicle. The next step is to install the spare tire and then hand tighten each of the lug nuts as much as possible. Then use the lug wrench to tighten each of the lug nuts in a star pattern starting at the 12 o'clock position. After the wheel is completely seated on the hub, Lower the vehicle so the tire is just touching the ground, and then tighten each of the lug nuts again. The final step is to lower the jack and remove it from under the vehicle so all of the tools can be returned to the trunk. Flat tires are always a possibility, so knowing the proper way to use a temporary mobility kit or install the spare is another important part of tire safety. The Tire Industry Association. Tire safety starts here.